December the 11th, 2012. I need to write this down. I woke up in panic early this morning. A dream, it was only a dream. But it seemed so real. The earth shaking, a loud roar. It's all blurry in my mind now. I sat on my bed. My alarm clock didn't show anything. I got up and tried to open the lights. Nothing. A blackout, I guessed. I took my cell phone from my dresser. It showed 3:33. I went to the bathroom to drink a glass of water. My face was covered in sweat, and I hadn't even realized by then. I drank the water, went back to bed, and I almost fell asleep immediately. It was already bright outside when I woke up. I looked at my alarm clock. It was blinking. I totally forgot with last night's blackout my alarm wouldn't ring this morning. I quickly got up and looked at my cell phone for the time. It was 10:28. I was supposed to be at work at 8. I quickly grabbed some clothes and hurried to the kitchen. I opened the TV as I was looking for food. I inserted bread in the toaster and the television caught my attention. The news were talking about an earthquake in Iceland of 8.7 on the Richter scale. It was felt up to here in Montreal near 3:30 in the morning. Was it that who woke me up? This may be why my dream felt so real. Maybe it wasn't a dream after all. But that roar, what was it? The toaster ejecting my toast woke me up from my daydreaming. I grabbed the toast as I noticed a blinking light on my answering machine. I quietly listened to my boss telling me it was the last time I was late because I was fired. I didn't even react, still shocked by the morning news and my troubling dream. I wasn't hungry anymore. I grabbed my coat and got out. It was a cold morning of December in Montreal, and I shivered as I was going down the stairs of my apartment. It already felt like winter. It was a cloudless day, and the snow blinded me. I walked for a while, thinking about what I learned this morning. I wasn't even worried about my job. The only thing on my mind was that earthquake. I guessed it was just a coincidence and I walked back to my apartment. The rest of the day went by normally. I just sat in my living room, watching TV all day. December the 12th, 2012. Once again I woke up brutally during the night. I was having a nightmare once again. Someone was talking in my mind. He woke up. He will destroy everything. You must. What did all of this mean? I must what? I told myself it was all just a dream and went back to sleep. My alarm clock woke me at 7 this time. I opened the television once again as I was eating. The news were talking once again of the situation in Iceland. They were talking about a group of spelunkers who went missing after yesterday's earthquake. A rescue team was sent, but only one of them came back. The authorities tried to ask him what happened, but he only kept repeating, "He will kill us all, none of us will survive." It made me think about my nightmare. He will destroy everything. Was my dream somehow related to what was happening in Iceland? In fact, what was actually happening there? Next was a reportage on the end of the world. It's been a long time everyone stopped caring about the Mayan apocalypse on December the 21st, 2012. Only a few weird people still believed in it. And there was still nothing happening. I barely even listened to it and started wondering what I would do without a job. I needed to find another one, and fast. The phone startled me and I almost fell off my chair. I answered only to hear static at the other end. Hello. Still static. I was about to hang up when I heard something. He will come. What? Who are you? But there was only a blank sound at the other end. The other person had already hung up. What was that? This whole story was starting to scare me. My dreams, what was happening in Iceland, this phone call, what was happening. As I am writing this, I still don't know what is happening. I will just go to sleep and try to figure this out tomorrow. December the 14th, 2012. I had a nightmare once again. I didn't write anything last evening because I was too shocked. How to explain this? Iceland sunk. I know, it just seems crazy. Another earthquake of 10.7 on the Richter scale shook Iceland yesterday near noon and completely sunk the island beneath the ocean. Nobody understands how such a powerful earthquake could have ever happened. And the weirdest part of all this is the last message the world got from Iceland. It's a small audio clip where we can barely hear anything because of static, which was sent minutes before the earthquake. It simply says, "He roars in the night, he will come for all of you." Like I said, I had another nightmare last night. Voices in my head, once again. He already started, look what he did. He won't rest until he will have destroyed everything. You must warn everybody, or he will destroy you all. But it's just a dream. Or is it? I don't know what to think anymore. These dreams just seem so real. And they just stick so much to what was happening in Iceland. An earthquake also shook the whole Australian island this morning. I started thinking about that Mayan apocalypse thing. What if it was happening right now? I'm going paranoiac. I need to sleep. December the 15th, 2012. What is happening to me? Am I going crazy? I woke up at 4 this morning. I was standing up in the hallway, and my fingers were bleeding. It took me a few seconds to realize where I was. I must have been sleepwalking. Then I saw my wall. I had scratched it with my fingers, which explained why they were bleeding. It was written, "He is getting more powerful, soon he will be able to sink continents." What did that mean? How did I write this in my sleep? I couldn't fall back to sleep after this. I was just lying in my bed, thinking about all this. Suddenly I felt the ground shaking. An earthquake? It was already 6 in the morning. I got up and opened the television to know what was happening. I couldn't believe what I saw. Australia suffered the same fate than Iceland. An earthquake of 11.2 sunk the whole island and caused a tsunami big enough to destroy New Zealand and all the surrounding islands. Once again, one last message was received from Australia minutes before the earthquake. "His roar is horrible, you can't stop him." What were they talking about? A roar? The last message of Iceland talked about a roar too. And the spelunker did too. And that dream I made a few days ago. I heard a roar in it. What is happening? Is something causing those earthquakes? Is that what my dreams are talking about? I don't know what to think. December the 17th, 2012. The situation got worse. Earthquakes started occurring in South America yesterday. Everybody feared the worst, and it happened. All of South America, including a small part of Mexico, sunk, and the tsunami that followed destroyed the Caribbean, the south coast of the United States like Florida and Louisiana, and what was left of small islands in the Pacific that weren't wiped at the same time as Australia. Once again, reports of roars came from almost every country in South America, minutes before the last earthquake. Everybody is panicking now. Churches call everyone to redemption. The illuminated who were talking about the apocalypse on December the 21st are starting to be taken seriously. This is not natural. Something horrible is behind all this. I know it. And something is trying to tell me in my dreams. What do they want from me? December the 19th, 2012. Everything is so clear now. The Mayans knew. I had another dream last night. They explained me. I don't know who is they, but they told me what was happening. Something is doing all of this. It drowned Africa yesterday, and it destroyed Europe and Asia all at once this morning. Always the same thing, earthquakes to start with, followed by horrible roars heard everywhere and one final gigantic earthquake that destroys everything. It's clearly getting stronger. North America is the only piece of land above the sea level now. Everything got wild here. Nothing is under control anymore. I think I'm the only one who knows what is happening. Why did they choose me? I don't know, but I have to do something. December the 20th, 2012. This will clearly be the last time I write in this journal. We are all doomed. I will explain what happened. I barely slept last night. And in that short period, I had a last dream. They told me everything. It wakes up every few million years, and it destroys everything. It sinks continents. He actually woke up a few thousand years ago. That's what happened to Atlantis. But someone found a way to stop it. Well, he only found a way to postpone it, to put him back to sleep for a few other thousand years. They froze him in the ices of Iceland. And they told the Mayans about it. That's why they did the calendar ending the 21st of December. They knew when it would wake up. They tried to warn us. But they gave us one last chance. I am that last chance. I then figured out that it lived underground. It would explain how it sinks continent, shaking them from under, collapsing their foundations. And it would explain what the spelunker from Iceland was saying. They probably encountered it while trying to rescue the others. I heard of a very large cave in the north of Montreal. It's said to go very deep underground. I am at the entrance of this cave. I will go in. I do not know what I will do or what I will find, but I have to try something. The earthquake started this morning. We are next. Except it if I can stop him. The psychiatrist finished reading the small journal. His latest patient was stressing him out. He was brought to him 2 weeks ago, in the last week of November. He had locked himself up in his apartment until his family finally decided to call the police to force the door. His apartment was a mess and they found him in fetal position in a corner of the living room, a journal next to him. The same journal the doctor just read. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia. He was hearing voices in his head. Once again today he tried forcing through the door of his cell screaming that he would come for them, and that he had to stop him. The doctor feared nothing could be done for him. Today he brought back the journal of his patient home planning to read it, but fell asleep before. He woke up in the middle of the night, victim of nightmares, and decided to read the journal. Even though the journal left him uneasy, it confirmed his diagnostic. The patient wrote about future events. He was hearing things that he thought were real, bringing him into madness. The doctor looked at his alarm clock. It showed 3:33. He remembered what he had just read and wondered what date they were. It struck him as the ground began to shake. They were December the 11th, 2012.